We all have conversations that we avoid, whether with a friend, a partner, a boss, or even with ourselves. In this video, I'm going to talk about why we need to have hard conversations, why they're important, and practical ways to speak honestly and without causing more conflict. Hello, hi, dumelang. Welcome back to Healing the Inner Child with Malingalai. Point number 1, why hard conversations are important. I personally think hard conversations are important because of growth. Many grow when you have hard conversations. They're called hard conversations for a reason. Yo, guys, what harder? I'm not gonna lie, I personally am very confrontational. Guys. Also, I think it's because I'm very anxious. I'm an anxious person. Lately, I'd like to believe that I'm doing well. I can allow my anxious self to lead in a lot of situations. Like now, I remember, when was it? 2 weeks back, a colleague of mine said something which really didn't sit well with me. So I'm that type of a person who believes in addressing issues then and then. Like, now, guys, let's address this issue. Reason number 1 is because I don't want to end up resenting people. I don't like resenting. I don't want that for myself. I want to sleep with a clear conscience, with a clear mind. I overthink these things. So imagine, like, when somebody says something to me and I don't do that. And a lot of people don't understand this. I'm not really doing this for them, but for now. Because I understand how important confronting the issue there and there is important for now. This thing hanging, I don't like it. It really doesn't work well for now. So I am confrontational. I am. Hard conversations, these are honest, and they also create real connection. Guys, I don't think we can have or experience real connections with other human beings without being truly honest. I repeat, being a people pleaser doesn't mean or better than, but well, confrontational or who believe in having hard conversations. Because unfortunately, the moment you become that person, you lose a lot of people. I've lost people in my life. People were very close to me, just because I confronted them on an issue that did not really sit well with me. Because another thing, when somebody has done 1, 2, 3, 4, instead of confronting them. Instead of you see, my sister, my brother, when you did 1, 2, 3, 4, I feel like we have a responsibility, especially to people who are closest to us, to confront them about their shortcomings. The same way we have a responsibility for them. Guys, I said, and then I said, I'm gonna act now. You confront an issue. Move on. Now, personally, sorry, I repeat, I don't want to resent anybody, and I'm not gonna resent anybody. Hence, if and when you do something wrong, don't confront. I'm going to tell you. I want to know 1, 2, 3, 4. Heinz a bit about 12 weeks and 2. Move a handle, as human beings. because at the end of the day, we need each other. We need each other. Number 2, what makes hard conversations hard? Yo guys, how easy, man, like I said, how easy to confront the issue, like man to man, or confront the moto. How easy. Comfortable it's not easy to confront or not confrontational about the way they do things. I think it's hard also because we have a fear of rejection. Guys, the moment you confront something, there's a possibility of that as well, of being rejected. When you think you know everything, what makes you think, oh, you have a right to say 1, 2, 3, 4 about my life? Oh, Mutawadi said, I don't want to be part of your life anymore because apparently you're judgmental. We use that a lot. Guys, I feel like we need to stop overusing it. Because I have a problem with people who don't take a stand. Wrong is wrong, guys, and right is right. And just because I confront you on an issue that you've done a wrong doesn't mean I'm judging you. No, I am aware. Other people are aware. And you are also aware. And that doesn't mean I am better than you. Or guys, we need to stop being cowards. We need to stop being cowards. How about wrong? And they need to know we're wrong. Because the way really judgmental thing. It's okay if you feel like I'm judgmental. Sharp and fit. But still, nitty. For what it is. Everything for what it is. But we can take a lot of things are happening because that's how we because that's how we reject you. Because after it's a conflict. There's a lot of conflict that happens when you confront an issue. Sometimes it's an internal conflict. When you're trying to address an issue with yourself. Even when it's with the next person, because they may be defensive. To a certain extent, I feel like they do have a reason. They do have the right of being defensive. For them to present their case, but like a weak defender. But sometimes, defender, and yet, they're defensive. Unfortunately, the disadvantages. A confrontational person. Sometimes it's misunderstood. Because there's a lot of misunderstanding that happens when you try to confront an issue. Like I said, because in most cases, when you are being misunderstood, you are cancelled. There's cancel culture. Hey, sometimes I cancel about a conversation. Some issues just need a conversation, guys. But I cancel a difference. I cancel the partners just because they had a disagreement. I feel like that's a flawed way of looking at things. Imagine just because you don't agree with me. Like now, I have a colleague and a friend. He's a Ronaldo fan. I'm a Messi fan. Hey, that boy, do let it boy. When it comes to those two, but it got the way that we do things. Even though we don't agree with, like when it comes to Messi and Ronaldo, it's a good we still are able to have honest, mature conversations. Mature about the situation, about the rivalry, about the way re bonang bolo ka teng. Mara with some people, one misunderstanding, John no way. Hey, bao cancela, bao kata. I guys, we need to learn how to be mature. Emotional intelligence is needed. Point number 3, which is also my last point, I think to resolve this issue, you need to first ask yourself, what is my why? Why do I feel that this is important to address? Why excited by asking ourselves that one question, after knowing your why, I think you also need to check your emotional state, because sometimes we allow our emotions to lead the way. Sometimes we're not too emotional. It happens to me, Linda. It happens to me. Sometimes it's not just about facts, but emotions as well. I mean, we are human beings. We have emotions. And unfortunately, even the decisions that are important in our pillow, they lead to emotions rather than facts. We don't allow facts to decide for us, but the emotions. So you also need to check your emotions before you do that. Am I doing this because maybe I'm triggered? Am I confronting this issue maybe because I don't like this person? Or, we also need to check that, and so that we avoid projecting, so that we avoid who hated the next person. For maybe sometimes, but why we're interested into not because they mean them, or because they didn't know it go affect the young. So let's have grace. Even when you are being confrontational, you need to have grace for the next person. Try to understand where they're coming from and avoid making everything about us. It's not easy. It's easier said than done. I know. Sometimes say, hey, kina bomb felash. I sometimes kina bomb I admit. It's something we and later get. Oh, yele. Did you really have to? Or maybe sometimes it can tough for, yes, I had to. But the manner in which I conducted myself, wasn't really correct or necessary. I'm still trying to work on that. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I know I'm saying this thing, and the tips and whatnot, but guys, Lena, my shortcoming. But at the same time doesn't mean I'm not worth speaking about these things. Just because Lena, I lack in this area. I think the more we speak about these things, the more they are actually normal. Rather than, feeling like, I'm also part of this problem. So why do I feel the need to speak about it? You're worthy speaking about it, even though you have your own shortcoming. So Lena, I'm gonna continue speaking about these matters. I'm not gonna stop. When you are being confrontational, you also need to anticipate reaction from the next person. When you're trying to confront yourself, you're trying to expect the friction in your friction. Even when it's with the next person. I was gonna know just because I'm being confrontational, and maybe your facts are correct. Are correct and valid. Therefore, the next person will understand you the way you understand the issue or the impact of whatever they may have done has or had on you. You should still anticipate reaction. Kai, maybe I know not positive. Kai, I know not negative. Marley thing, it's okay regardless. I'm willing with from an odd what I can look at the end of the day, Kibuala Motu Molena, Motonal my good. Maybe whatever they say, even feel ashamed of themselves. They didn't like it too. So the fact that you are confronting them about the issue, even though feeling worse about themselves. Grace, in this regard. Let's learn to have grace. Let's stop holding people ka dipelo. Ha re tshwareleng, ha re tuteng ho tshwarela. Empa hard conversations are important. That's how we build true and lasting relationships. That's how we build true connections, by being open and vulnerable with each other. In conclusion, I hope that you've learned something from this conversation, from this episode. And you're not just going to listen, but you will act on it. We're not checking which areas in your life do you think need you to confront them. Because sometimes I mazatona. Because like I said, it's so nice confronting but it's necessary. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this episode. Until next time, bye-bye.